Light the candle, illuminate your heart. Don't be afraid of the dark. Along with winter comes the sound of snowfall, blessed and heavy upon our souls. Bring out the old, ring in the new. Bless and release what you have to. With love, with hope, with love. There above us, a brilliant evening sky. Let spirit fly with the constellations. Lift up your voices in grateful harmony. Join together in the jubilation. Bring out the old, ring in the new. Bless and release what you have to. With love, with hope, with love. Bring out the old, ring in the new. Bless and release what you have to. With love, with hope, with love. Light the candle, illuminate your heart.
Light the candle, illuminate your heart. That's what we're here to do today. And this is not a regular, normal Sunday service, as most of you who have been to our Burning Bowl services know. I am going to make two quick announcements before we begin, because they are not in your bulletin. One is that the first, Reverend Laurel is going to be holding a first day walk for anyone who would like to join her, which will be on the first day of the new year, January 1st, at 1 p.m., meeting at the Rancocas Nature Preserve in the parking lot for anyone who would like to join her for that. Also, I want to let you know that we, in addition to live streaming on Facebook, we live stream on YouTube. Facebook lets go of our services after 30 days. YouTube does not. They stay up there. So we've been doing this series on It's a Wonderful Life, and they are on YouTube. The first one is already gone from Facebook. So after this service, this Burning Bowl service, because we had a snow day a couple weeks ago, we're going to be live streaming the It's a Wonderful Life service on love. Love binds us together. That was missed, so that it will be up on YouTube. And it'll be on Facebook too, but if you want them all together, you'll need to be on YouTube. And it'll be on where the live streams are at. The channel is Unity Church of Christ, Mount Laurel, for anything that you want to follow with us on YouTube. And so we're going to be taking a break after this service. If you want to be on for the live streaming of the It's a Wonderful Life, Love Binds Us Together service, you'll need to go off of YouTube or Facebook and come back on. I would say give us about 10 minutes because we have to upload the first service before we start the second one. So everything else is in your bulletin and you can read that for yourself. We're here right now to bring out the old and ring in the new. And often, for many of us, I think probably for most of us, when this time of the year comes around, it's a time of reflection for us. It's a time for us to look over the past, with an objective mind, without condemnation, to celebrate our successes and observe with clear vision the things that we'd like to change. And we're going to do that. We're going to be look forward to the new year by celebrating the good that we have received in 2025. Then we're going to release what no longer serves us. And finally, we're going to open ourselves to something new, a new beginning, a new way of seeing things, and we're going to claim what we are willing to do to be actively accountable for our lives. So before we begin, I just want to make sure that everyone has what they need. So if you look in your bulletin, you should have 3 pieces of paper, a yellow one that says release and let go, a blue one that says celebrate the good, and a blank gray piece of paper. And if you don't have those, or you need something to write with, just raise your hand, and our usher will bring to you whatever it is that you may need. Thank you, Mark. So if you're with us virtually and you didn't request a packet, you can just get 3 pieces of paper and follow along, and you can just write on the top of the papers. One of them will say, I celebrate the good. One will say, release and let go. So God, speaking through the prophet Isaiah, this is chapter 43, verses 18 to 21, said, remember not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beast of the field shall honor me, the jackals and the ostriches, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen, which you are, which we all are. This people have I formed for myself, that they shall show forth my praise. And we know this because then he gave us, each one of us individually, the only begotten Son, the Christ that lives within each and every one of us. So today we're going to begin with praise and thanksgiving for the good in our lives, for the roads in the wilderness and the rivers in the desert. And we begin with the good so that we can enter the releasing part of our service with the right mindset, so that we can look at what needs to be let go with a heart softened by gratitude and thanksgiving. Otherwise, the letting go won't work. So this entire service is meditative and contemplative. That's the process. So of course, we're going to begin by becoming quiet and still. Bringing our attention inward. Perhaps closing our eyes and remembering to breathe. Letting go of any tension in our body is a good way to start. And just allowing ourselves to be in this moment. So that we can begin to take a mental look back over the year. And as you look at the experiences that you've had, acknowledge and understand that they have become a part of you. whether you've labeled them good or bad or given them some other label, they've become a part of you. And you get to choose what you will take with you into the new year, what you will take from these experiences as you move forward, and what you need to leave behind. All of life's experiences are a part of our growth and unfoldment. They have served us in some way because we have gained something from them. At the very least, we've learned something. And we need to acknowledge that. We need to look for the good so that we can more clearly see what we've labeled as not good and let it go with understanding. So for the next few moments, concentrate on the goodness of the past year. And I know that we can each have our reasons for saying it's been a difficult year. And I also know that we have the strength and the power within us to let go of the things that would keep us from seeing and receiving our good. So what are you grateful for? What lessons have you learned that you can take with you into the coming year? In what ways have you become stronger, wiser, more loving, more understanding? And on the paper that says, I celebrate the good, write those things down. For those are the things that you want to keep with you and take with you into the coming year.
Tis the season for ending another temporary year. Take the time to lay down burdens and hold on to all that's dear. Recognizing our good fortune as we learn from our mistakes and be thankful to the Father for heaven's sake, for heaven's sake. December remembers love. Remember December's love. With the new year looming, valentines and clover, Soon the daffodils are blooming. Rebirth, it's never over. The summer moon comes all too soon. Pretty brides in silky white. Empty nests and quiet rooms, holding hands on festive nights. December remembers love. Remember December's love. Tis the season for ending another temporary year. Take the time to lay down the troubles and hold on to all that's dear.
The burning bowl is the releasing part of our ceremony, and it offers us an opportunity for forgiveness, to let go of resentment or anything that would keep us from claiming the infinite possibilities of the Christ potential that is within us. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, in his book, The 12 Powers of Man, says that elimination is our innate ability to come to a change in mind and heart. For a change in mind to take place, there must be a letting go of old thoughts and behaviors so that the new can be established in its place in consciousness. A change in heart occurs when we accept and trust that as we let go of what no longer serves us, a place is opened within us for the wisdom of God to work, for the wisdom of God to lead us to a higher good. Fire symbolizes cleansing and purification, and those things are necessary for us to establish a positive state of mind. And the fire of spirit is the living, eternal energy within us. And when we give ourselves over to this energy, we can allow it to consume all the errors so that we can move forward in a positive, affirmative mindset. That fire of spirit is always burning within us. So when we give it our attention, it just becomes stronger. And so today, we release into this cleansing, purifying fire of spirit some error thought, some negative feeling or behavior that blocks the flow of good to us and through us. Now, before we continue, I'm going to go over how we're going to proceed. For those of you who have joined us virtually, when it comes time to burn your list, and if you don't have a safe place to do that right now, I will light a symbolic piece of paper from the Christ candle to represent what you are releasing and allow you a moment to silently make your peace with it. Then in another time, you can burn that release and let go list on your own, or release it in any other way that you would deem appropriate. And I highly encourage you to take the time to physically release it as a symbol of establishing in the outer what you have committed to on the inner. For those of you who are with us in the sanctuary, once you've completed your list, you can quietly and reverently come over to the left side of the sanctuary from where you are sitting, like we did for our Christmas candle lighting service. No one is going to direct you. When you're ready and your list is how you want it to be, you come around over here. If there's no one at the bowl, then you may come up and light your list, reverently make peace with it, and let it go. Now, because no one's directing you, you just really need to be aware that other people are going to be moving around in the room. I'm going to ask you to stand behind the bowl as you light the paper. You'll see me do it for those of us virtually, so that you're not, so that you are facing toward the camera and not away from it. So now we're just going to get quiet and still, and we're going to begin. And again, we hear the word of God through Isaiah. Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. All that has happened over the past is done. There's no point in reliving it. It doesn't change anything. It does nothing to serve anyone. At the same time, there may be a need to objectively observe some things, to objectively view what we might like to have done differently. There's great power in an objective eye that is single with the purpose of creating good. So begin to look back over the year, or maybe even prior years. Because releasing and letting go is an ongoing process, and sometimes we just might need to look back a little bit further. What things might you need to let go? What might you need to forgive yourself or someone else? What needs to be eliminated that will allow you to live more fully from the Christ of your being? What thoughts might you be holding about yourself or another that are contrary to the truth of the Christ in you or in them? It's important also not to think of the thing you're releasing as negative or bad. If there's any negativity in our mind or heart, we cannot release it freely. It needs to be looked at objectively, simply as something that you have discerned needs to be let go, so that you can then give it a blessing as you release it. Give thanks and praise for the lesson that it brought to your life. And then gently release it into the purifying fire. And as you let go of your paper, watch it disintegrate. Take the time to feel the weight of whatever you are releasing leave you. Know that you are abundantly blessed. Perhaps affirm to yourself, I am now free from the past, the mistakes of the past, and the results of past mistakes. I am now free from the past, the results of the past, the mistakes of the past. I know the truth, and the truth makes me free. For our virtual participants, I'm going to light this. Release it with a blessing. And when those of you here are ready, you may proceed.
I have received a special gift this season. It's the gift of letting go. I bring my burdens to this sacred place and drop them in this burning bowl. Let the wind carry my cares away as I release them to the fire. Hear the call of my New Year's Day, and I am lifted high. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. On my way. I'm letting go of last year's tired story. I don't need it anymore. Let the wind carry my cares away. I release them to the fire. I hear the call of my New Year's Day, and I am lifted high. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. On my way. I am rising from the ashes, getting better every day. Let the wind carry my cares away. I release them to the fire. Hear the calling of my New Year's Day, and I am lifted high. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. On my way. Let the wind carry my cares away. Let the wind. The world is released in the still of the night by the prison of shame and the burden of time. All comes to rest in the sheltering dark, in the rhythm of breath deep in the heart. Sweet release, sweet release. And I lay me down in the velvety night, away from the glare of relentless light, only to sleep. Can I hear the song of what I've forgotten and where I belong? Sweet release, sweet release, sweet release, sweet release. Through all of creation, love comes to me. My soul is renewed by setting it free. And so I surrender a blessed relief. The Spirit is moving on the face of the deep. River of dreams will carry me home. And when I So I surrender a blessed relief. The Spirit is moving on the face of the deep. And so I surrender, and it carries me home. And when I'm awake, I'm not alone.
And again, the words of God through Isaiah. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? We will not know it unless we align ourselves with the power we have within us to create it. We have to be willing to take the necessary action to make it happen. We have to be willing to listen to the still small voice and choose to follow it. Our power of will is the executive power of our mind around which all of the action centers. The inner action, the outer action, including the power of love, which is the faculty that draws us to that which we desire, draws us to our good. So we need to be willing to align our will with the divine will in us, knowing that the power of divine love is flowing in and through our lives, drawing us to everything we need to fulfill our heart's desire. We've chosen to release the things that block our good. And we've done that with love and reverence and a blessing to open a space within us for something new. But if we don't give thought to filling that space with something positive, then it's just simply going to refill itself with the same old things that it always has. And all of the releasing that we did will have been for nothing. So now it's time for us to affirm that we're willing to take action. What are we willing to do in place of that which we have released? So you have a third piece of paper. And on the top of that paper, I'd like you to write, I am willing. I am willing. Maybe I align my will with divine will. I align my will with the will of God. Whatever resonates for you. And then turn within once again. You probably already have begun to formulate or have a pretty good idea of what you need to do to make things different this year. So you need to ask yourself, am I willing to do it? The fire of spirit can be seen as the word of God in action, burning out the dross of negative consciousness to reveal the Christ consciousness within us. So what action will you take to burn out the dross of negative consciousness in the new year to reveal more of the Christ of your being? What actions are you willing to take to be actively accountable in transforming your life? It's not going to just magically happen. We have the power within us, the strength within us to make it happen. So I'd like you to give some thought to an affirmation that you might be able to take with you into the new year. An affirmative statement that you can take with you and tweak it as you go along through the year. Something that's going to help keep you on track as you continue to celebrate the good, as you continue to release what doesn't serve you, so that you can fulfill your divine purpose of being the best Christ of God you were created to be. And in doing that, fulfill your heart's desire. And it doesn't have to be a perfect affirmation. It's a place to begin.
unsure which path to take. Show me the way. Ooh, show me the way. Every year is a new clean slate on which I can draw, on which I can paint what my soul wants to see, what my soul wants to be. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me. Every day is a new clean slate on which I can draw, on which I can paint what my soul wants to see, what my soul wants to be. Show me the way. Hey, show me the way. Show me the way. Show me.
My prayer is that this is helpful, that this opens a way within us to move forward, knowing the strength and the power that we have within us to create good in our lives, to be a light of good for others. And it sort of symbolizes a process of blessing and releasing so that we can make room to receive. And in that respect, it can also be viewed as a way of aligning ourselves with the law of giving and receiving. So I invite you to do that now as we participate in a love offering with the affirmation of abundance that is in your bulletin. So I invite you to take your gifts in your hands and your hearts and say this blessing with me together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. And once again, together as one, divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we give and all that we receive. And we see these gifts so lovingly and generously given, going to further the Christ-based teachings within each individual life that is here with us today, within our communities, within our world, as we live and exemplify these principles in everything that we think, say, and do, as we become more of the Christ light that we are. And so, for the honor and privilege of being a part of this wonderful movement of spirit that we know and love as Unity Church of Christ, that supports us so well in being all we're created to be. We give thanks. Amen. And now I'm just going to invite you to conclude with me with the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. For wherever we are, God is. And where God is, all is well. And I see you this year embracing these truths and being actively accountable for living them and creating a happy, healthy, and prosperous life. God bless you. Amen.
Most of the time, there's so much to think about just to get through the day. Details and deadlines, investments to analyze, those endless bills to pay. The kids need braces, someone's on trial, the weather is turning cold. And when do I have even one brief moment to look inside my soul? Just to listen to my soul. What a chance on this new year to make a change in my life. Learn to dance, face an old fear, spend some quiet time in my life. And above to thank the Lord for blessings I've received. And above all to know that He is always here with me. What a chance on the new year. Days come and go in the vacuum of modern life, so hard to do what's right. But this is my chance to put an end to compromise, beginning on New Year's night. There's so little kindness, so very much pain. You see it wherever you go. And I've done my share of the wrongs in this world, and I recommit to what I know. And just let my love flow. What a chance on the new year to make a change in my life. Learn to dance, face an old fear, spend some quiet time in my life. And above all to thank the Lord for blessings I've received. And above all to know that He is always within me. What a chance on the new year. What a chance on this new